And we are back at our home course, New York safety track. We're there on September 1st. I was very much excited to get home because I knew I had beaten my personal best, and of course I didn't catch footage of my excitement as I got home, so I needed the help of Antonio Banderas. It's pretty much what I looked like. So what was the mark that I set for myself for this day? We've been trying to get 135. Yeah. Kyle was awesome that day. It was only he and I that went there out of the group, and helped me save as much energy as possible because I was beat. Barely got sleep the night before. I was running on 3 hours worth of sleep, but we had to do what we had to do. So I got home, set the lap timer, and this was the video that I watched. Dad Kachia. I had asked him to give me some fast toast so that I could get to the next level and figure out whether or not I did in fact manage to set my suspension properly and that it's dialed in. This was just our pit out lap, and as usual I make sure that even though my tires literally just came off the warmers, I rolled up and managed to get on track right away. I still will take the precaution and keep them up properly. Try to get hard accel and hard braking while the bike is straight up and down. As you can see, the coach has a different way of warming up the tire, which is just pretty much go fast. That'll work too, but I don't have that much confidence yet with this bike because this is pretty much my 5th or 6th time out with it. By the way, if you don't already know, I am on a 2014 R1, which is pretty much stock, with the exception of Austin Racing low mount GP exhaust and Pirelli Slicks SC1s and some, I think it's ASB levers. It's pretty much eBay clutch and brake levers, which I need to replace later. Here we are, and as I suspected, he's gonna keep bridging the gap on me, but you know, I was confident right straight away I could reel him back in. But unfortunately, I totally forgot that I haven't gotten used to getting on the throttle as quick as possible with this bike yet. I didn't even use the full track width. But we did manage to gain some ground back. He probably let off a little so that I could catch up. Just turning around a lot to make sure that I was behind him at this point. But here we are. Pit out lap is done. Time to try and get serious. I still didn't trust the tires much. So, you know, I just stepped it up a little bit, trying to get a good feel for it. Turn 6, trying to pick up new markers. I thought we were just gonna go step by step, but again, this guy just went all out. So, I was like, okay, no biggie. He's still in front of me. I could still see him. Let's just up the pace little by little and get a good feel. This is also the first time out for me with, or is it second time? Second time. The first time out with the Pirelli Slicks was an NJMP Thunderbolt with N2, which I was stuck in novice class. That's a whole different story. So this is the first time I'm really getting a good feel for this tire on an actual good pace. So I still wasn't too worried. You know, I could still see him. Once again, we'll have the front straight, but I have to get past this guy just in case he can't keep up. So this time around, I managed to get in the throttle just at the right time. Used the entire track width to get a good drive out. But you know, his bike might be a bit faster than mine. Might just be a little bit faster getting on the throttle too. A bit on the hard braking because I took an inside line to pass that guy, and still managed to do a decent entry and you know, not mess up turn 1. Get a good drive out of turn 2. stick close to this guy. I should have hit that apex, but I've been having problems with turn 3 because my brake markers there is a bit off. So if you enter that wrong, you exit it wrong. But I still managed to get a good drive out, better than that guy, and I beat him out on the brakes. Trail, trail, trail. Get there, maintenance throttle until you see the apex. And as you hit it, you pick the bike up, hit wheelie hill up there, wide open throttle, shift up when the time is right. Turn left, wrestle it right, wrestle it left again. Here I just maintained throttle, which kind of felt sketchy. If I later on I'll hit that a bit faster and it'll actually drag me out. I found out later on that I should get on the gas hard and trail into that, which we'll try next time. But Dan's already further ahead again. This guy's pitting out in front of me, so I set him up to pass him here. I normally won't pass here, but since he was pitting out, I had to go for it. Otherwise, Dan would get way ahead, and he might think that he lost me and just go even faster, and I wouldn't be able to chase him anymore. So make up for it this time around. Decided to try and go for a bit more of a closer optimal brake marker to try and reel him back in. Hit this decently, got a good drive out, and as you could tell, I was very happy to see that I managed to hit a 138.08. Consistent times means I'm hitting good markers, I'm hitting the points that I set for myself. But as Dan kept picking up the pace and kept moving further and further and further away from me, I knew I had to pick up the pace even more so I could stick with him. I had no idea at this time what my times were. I just knew I was getting faster. I was knee dragging everywhere. The suspension felt great. I didn't really feel too much chatter at this point. Here we go, turn 11. Here he pulls further away from me because my front end felt a little light there because I wasn't trail braking into it. This one I could get tighter and tighter and tighter. Hit that marker, brake, trail, stay tight, get on the gas, and that was decent. And hit apex, excel out hard. I don't know if you can see, but Dan powered out hard that freaking just ended up wheeling there. Get on the gas hard, use as much of the track as possible, wide open gas, quick as you can. I thought I was going to be able to reel him in even more and try to get him into brakes here, but it was a little too late and he took a further inside line. I had to modify my line, create more room so that I could kick it back in and not lose too much speed. He managed to get a decent drive out, as did I. I'm following a lot closer this time because I see that he's got another rider ahead of him. I didn't want him to pass that guy and me being too far back, and if he ups the pace, there's no way I'm gonna be able to keep up even more, even at this time. I pretty much knew that I was pretty close to the limits of the techniques that I had learned, and I would end up pushing the boundaries a bit too much. And there he goes again, front wheel up. So stick to it, use him as a mobile marker, and try to keep reeling him in, get closer and closer and closer. But I knew I was getting tired here. I was really starting to feel it. First instance of that is here, way wide. I have to make it up here. But if you make it up there, the mistakes just fall through. And I even shook my head, and it keeps getting worse. So you have to correct. I managed to correct it there, get it back in line, get the rhythm back, and if I was gonna get ahead of him, or try to get ahead of him and try to do my 35, the time was now. So he was close, a lot closer than before on the front straightaway. Might have even let off a little bit here to let me pass him. So I take that chance and get by. And now here I am. I got this guy ahead of me. I know I had the pace. I knew pretty much, I had a feeling I was very, very close to the 35s. So, gotta focus and try to get by this guy and get to it. I was just still hitting decent lines, but remember, previous lap, it showed warnings of me getting tired. I was missing my markers. I wasn't hitting the apexes anymore. But you gotta, at this point in time, there is a time to just say fuck it and send it. This was it. I'm gonna go see just how far I could stretch myself and try to hit the mark that I set out. So I was starting to reel this guy back in. It's feeling good. It's like maybe I could just pull this off, and even got tighter there. I get here, and it was decent. I managed to reel it back in with the brakes again, but I got on the throttle too soon. I had to correct it here. I managed to get it back in line. Trail, hit the apex. And here, I don't know why I shifted up, but I did, and I stood the bike up a little too soon. Now I had to right kink. I added a right kink that it shouldn't have. It cost me so much time. So those 3 mistakes at the end, I believe, cost me my 35. And the previous lap before, around turn 12, when missing that apex, cost me 35. So right then and there, I knew there's no way I was going to be able to go any faster. At this point, I pulled back a little bit and decided to just try my best to clean up my line and pick up more markers for next session to work on. So I cleaned up 3 and 4. That was the line to follow, but that was definitely slow. But it did allow me to get a better drive out. That's what I noticed. So I cleaned this up as well, and that was just a win. At this point in time, I was like, all right, I'm gonna need to pit out, but no, I don't want to slow down too much too early, too soon, and slow down the rest of the expert group behind me. So tried to keep a good pace, but kept my safety margins up and just pick up new reference points and stayed tight there and nice and easy. I had my leg up, I don't know when, but that was an okay pass, I guess. But I checked up just to make sure, and heard that guy, so left him room. I was already getting out anyways. I was dead beat at this point. The last time I felt like this was my first race out. After the 4th lap on that first race in NGMP and CC, or no, it was with Osram. My times just kept dropping, so I was like, there's no point pushing on. It's probably going to be the last lap anyways. But I was still happy. Very, very happy. So I get home, and when I saw these times, this is how I felt. That's right. I wouldn't have been able to pull that off in the camera, but Antonio got it right. Yeah. Felt really, really good to find out that I did get close, that it was possible. I just need to be better prepared for next time, and be disciplined and make sure I get enough sleep. But this was a blast. I only had like 3 or 4 sessions this entire day. Still well worth the trip. I actually came in even like late. I think I got to the track at 9:30, something like that.
Had more pace.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I think I was telling Kai. Yeah, I was barely able to keep up. And the coach had a bit more pace, and I wanted to keep going and push it.
You need to get faster.
Yep, that's right. We need to freaking get faster. Okay, well, extra footage. Here we go. Same day, met a cool dude. So I decided to go on a session with him for my last session. I wanted to continue with my plan. Not necessarily go as fast again. I mean, I would take it if it's there. But the idea on this one was to use my old brake markers the point where I know it's safe. Mitigate my risk again, and try to reach the same times, but 3 conditions. One was definitely hit the new markers that I laid out for myself, or as far as the apex and exit. Get on the throttle quicker, and last but not least, what was last but not least? Remember, but in this case, the reason why I was stuttering and hesitating, I just remembered. I was like, holy shit! This entire fucking day, I kept the damn bike on standard mode, so I was trying to flick the switch to get it on get it on A mode, and right there I was like, holy crap! The response is just so much better. I don't know if it's just a placebo or if I'm feeling it, but oh, now I remember. The third condition was to try and replicate the times and drop down again or go as fast as I can without knee drag. So those were the 3 conditions that I set out for myself. Because then, if I was able to do that, I knew that the next time around, I could go even faster. And at this point, I pretty much had a feeling like, you know, either I get 35 now or I'll get 35 the next time around. So I'm already looking past 35. I'm looking to try and get the 33s on my next day here at NYST. But anyways, we are following Gabe. He's on a new R6. This was pretty much a pit out lap, I believe. I don't remember. Oh, I think it's a pit out lap. The lap timer's not kicking on yet. I manually set the lap timer on this thing, by the way, to start counting at the edge of that hot pit barrier where there's a garbage can. So that's when you see the lap timer pop up. So, you know, Gabe is, we have a lot of things in common as far as our methods to try and go fast. Of course, it also takes the time to warm up his tires. So figured I'd follow him and see what lines he's got, and if I had an extra pace that I could show him, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So that was our pit out, and there are times where, you know, I'd even take a second lap to even warm up the tires really until I feel it's there, it's sticking, and that I don't need to worry about it again. I don't know the feeling for the Pirelli slicks. I mean, now I know it's freaking awesome, and I'm extremely happy with it. But so we're just following along. At the same time, while I'm following, I still have lines that I had picked out from the previous lap, but it's hard to follow that line when you're in a different pace, because this bike won't turn unless you're trail braking. You really gotta compress the fork, especially since I'm on stock suspension. The progressive springs are quite annoying to handle at times. In any case, you know, he's got decent lines. He knows what he wants to do. He knows what he needs to do. Found out that he also road races, so it's nice and neat. He's very predictable. And keeps a fairly tight line. But unfortunately, like at this point, I was like, you know what, man, I'm getting tired. I don't think I could last out the entire session. I had a good guesstimate at where he would be, or maybe we were just gonna be just as fast. So I was like, you know what, let me get ahead of him and get on my task. So I wasn't really sure my tires were warm yet, so I'm gonna test it out here. Again, picking lighter and longer braking type of markers for my entry, because I was more concerned about exiting out properly. So there, that I went wide. It could have been because I didn't trail as good as I was previously, but just to make sure, I decided, you know what, warm him up a bit more, get more confidence on the front tires, and you know, better safe than sorry. I'm not really going for fast laps this time anymore, so the main goal was to clean up the lines and get a better feel for getting on the throttle harder, a lot faster. I think that's going to be my key for to get my next benchmark down. So let's And along with that, here I tried the trail braking thing and it worked out a lot better. I'm able to really get on the throttle faster and actually cut my time and spent in that corner and was able to get that nice and tight. I missed that a little bit. The entrance was, I could have hit the entrance on that one on 13 a bit better, so I had to clean it up and hit 14. I had to sacrifice a little bit of speed to do that, but you know, again, just cleaning up lines. When I was watching this vid, since I used my old markers, I was glad to see that I still, you know, hit the 140 mark that I did previously in the last track day that I had here. Let's go. Okay, that's good. Had a good feel for the brakes. This time around, I was a bit more confident that it was gonna stick. So you know, sacrifice the entry a little bit, but get on the throttle hard. Sacrifice the entry a little bit. Get the nice exit. Tighten it up. Get on the gas hard. Fortunately, I think was it this one that I messed up shifting? No, that was already past lap. It was decent. So, you know, stay tight, clean it up. No knee drag anymore at this point. I was able to hang off the bike even more since, you know, I slowed everything down by moving up my brake markers. Able to slow down my hands and become a bit smoother. And pretty much place the bike pretty damn near to exactly where I wanted to. Right there's, I like that, pretty much decent, and accelerator will drag me out to allow me to bring it back in here. I got on the throttle just a little bit too soon, which still decent. Still missed that marker, the entrance to this. Could have been a bit tighter. But then again, I never really worked on this end of the course yet, believe it or not. The slow technical section, I've never paid too much focus to it just yet. I got up to turn one all the way up to turn 10. 12, 13, 11, 12 I was decent. 13 through 15 I just pretty much did by feel. So here I started feeling, you know, the fatigue. See, I missed that and I went wide, and I knew that one was my fault. I lost brake feel. I was just fatigued, and my body position, the tempo of my body position was starting to get delayed. So I remained cognizant of that, and I was aware. And I knew that I'm gonna need to pit out pretty much at this lap, but still same thing. Just, you know, try to keep a decent pace, not slow anybody up too much behind me as I try and pit out and throw my leg up in 11 and 12. It was the plan. So nice, neat lines. Give myself a good feel for the next one, so that when I watch the video, I could clearly tell where I last left off. Make notes of it and continue the process on to the next track day. Yep, still missed it. I'm gonna need to work on this section. Yep, shake the head. On this section, I believe the most gains I'm gonna get right now currently is gonna be tightening up this section, getting on the gas precisely when I need to, and you know, shortening up my braking distance and keeping the line nice and tight. But it's a step by step. I do love this sport. Like Rossi, just like Rossi said, allora. Well, if you do it step by step, it is possible. We will get there. And I think low 30s is going to be possible on stock suspension. Apparently the way my bike is set up. Be good. And Kai was the man. He helped me out through the day. If it wasn't for him, I would have gotten tired a lot quicker. I really had fun this day. Thumbs up to Gabe. That was good. I felt content, even though I pretty much skipped half of the day. but I was really fatigued, so I still feel happy with what I accomplished. Even more
No
happier.
need to push for the rest of the day. We're good. We're fucking
Yep.
tired. That's what we are.
No more need
Hey,
to
that guy.
push for the day. I was fucking tired, is what we are. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Please hit that subscribe button and follow us on Instagram. It's at Race Theory. Special thanks goes out to MotoJC for providing those licks. We couldn't have done it without it. Till next time.